Here's a case study to demonstrate the difference that an investment in culture can make. We can't give you the organisation's name, unfortunately, due to market sensitivity. What we can tell you is that this organisation was showing all the signs of a culture in crisis. No alignment to any organisational goals, people at odds, or worse, loggerheads with each other, systems and processes pulling in different directions, and yes, did we mention bleeding money? Owned by an overseas parent company, this organisation had been floating along on big profits in a very buoyant international market for a number of years. Then one day, boom! There was a major fraud in the States that saw a complete overhaul of the industry, and the profits dried up fast. What was left was an organisation that was based on quarterly targets required by its parent company and little else. People didn't understand the sudden loss of finances and resulting tightening of belts, so were angry and probably quite afraid for their jobs in many cases. Behaviours had been allowed to get quite out of control, to the point where people would routinely throw things at each other during meetings. Broken was a kind assessment. Enter stage left a new and very visionary CEO. The first thing she did was put a new executive team around her and start to educate that team and herself about how things could be done differently, very differently. One of the first areas the executive team tackled was the lack of why in the company. They developed a new and very compelling purpose, vision and long-term strategy. The parent company didn't get it at first, but little by little the executive team won them over. They spent considerable time, year after year, educating staff about the vision, purpose, strategy, and the very specific part they each played in achieving it. Hard on the heels of this came values. This started with a hard look at the behaviours Organisation X needed. From there came 5 very specifically chosen values, which the rest of the staff then helped develop the behaviours around. The values became embedded everywhere, in the glass between offices, in performance reviews, in yearly reward events, in quarterly shout-outs, in recruitment of new staff, and, where necessary, in performance management. Next, the leaders needed to get on the same page. A program of leadership capability workshops was rolled out across the organisation, attended by anyone that led any staff member or had any other informal leadership roles. The workshops introduced a new language and alignment of leadership approach across the leaders of the organisation, and was continually run as new leaders were brought in. By the way, these workshops were not run by external consultants, but by senior leaders within the organisation, and were that much more powerful for it. None of this happened overnight. It was a lot of hard work, but the payoff was immense. That organisation went from a broken widget maker to an innovation incubator, respected, and in some cases copied by its parent, with a fabulous reputation as a place to work and develop a technology career. Most importantly, it became an organisation where its employees could deliver innovative products and services that made amazing differences to its external customers and clients. These 3 elements of culture growth we have come to know affectionately as the 3 heavy hitters. And while we have 13 elements within our system, it's these 3 that generally must be attended to first. In the case of Organisation X, there were plenty of other great initiatives happening. For sure, but focus on these 3 areas was what really turned the ship and expedited it back to being a fit-for-purpose organisation. We can't tell you what would have happened had the organisation not taken this approach, but they did take this approach, and the result was nothing short of remarkable. Here's what we've experienced. Dedicated effort on a broken workplace culture, focusing first on the 3 heavy hitters, will definitely start to get you back in the game. However, it will take exceptional time, skill and discipline versus what happens if you can get proactive and develop these areas before damage occurs. Do that, and you're setting up the pillars of long-lasting success, whatever comes your way.